Alright, well, welcome to Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, editor-in-chief of The Signal, and today we will be talking about the midterm election results, online basic classes offerings at UHCL, and Quick Take. But joining me today are two of our editorial staff members, and they will now introduce themselves.
Hello, and do not underestimate when he says two, because we are the two, the big two, major two. Anyway, I'm Troylon Griffin, the second, aka Troylon 2, managing editor, second in command.
I can't.
He's the co-managing editor.
I
don't think he would realize some people on staff will listen to this. Whatever. Hi, my name is Alyssa Shotwell, and I am the online editor.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to this 27th episode of Signal Soundbytes. So, let's get right into it. So first off, the 2018 midterm elections are still going on in multiple states that are conducting recounts. However, so far, there have been several history-making results, including a record number of women in the House of Representatives, the first Native American and Muslim women in Congress, the first openly gay man elected governor, and Texas's first Hispanic women in Congress. So what are your thoughts on these historical election results?
It's the only thing that kept me alive after somebody lost. Is that too much to say? No, I really liked, if you see, I think it's just the House of Representatives, the House elects, they're called, I think, kind of like president-elect, and you see the Democrats' photos all together. I'm excited because that looks like what America looks like. It looks like the America that's been existed, but now it's reflecting. So all the women, it's really exciting that we're getting closer and closer to 50%. Yeah, I'm excited. That's all I can say.
How about you, Jordan?
I feel that, while nobody could be entirely satisfied with how the results came out, it was just good to see, democracy at work and everything. I mean, in America, we are kind of part of this great experiment to create a great modern democratic country, a big grand democracy and all, and just seeing the amount of people that are more motivated to go out and vote, that was just really good and everything. And while the results may not have satisfied everyone, we might not be satisfied with some of the election results, it's still good to know that people who may not have voted in the previous election were finally motivated to vote in this election. And I'm very happy with all the major landmarks that were made as well. Like, that's a big deal.
Speaking of 49%, I think it's like 49% of America voted for the midterms, which is like the highest in a lot of years. I don't remember the exact year. But that is really cool and exciting. I hope that more people are not just motivated by, like, if you're angry, but I hope people are motivated in a positive way to see that their votes matter, especially in the midterms. When it's not conducted by an electoral college, it's where your vote is shown up when they show those results. You're one of those numbers on either side, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool seeing a lot of these first happening, especially during a midterm election. That's one of the elections that gets the lowest amount of turnout just because it's not the big presidential election.
That's glamorous.
Yeah, so seeing it being kind of promoted in a way that's like, hey, this is actually really cool stuff and actually stuff that's important and matters to our country. It's not just necessarily the president. So I thought that was really cool. But is there anything that happened, or is there any part of the election process that you would like to see improved for 2020?
Where do I begin?
Well, that's an interesting question. I suppose, I do hope that more people continue to go out and vote, and that people see how important voting is. What was the question again?
Is there any part of the election process that you would like to see improved for next election in 2020? So, like, maybe how they're conducted, maybe how, maybe the lines or something, any type of part of that process that you would like to see improved.
Well, I really hope that
there isn't
a big case of what's that word? It's where you dividing up the regions. I get it confused with lobbying. Yes, gerrymandering. I get that and lobbying confused for some reason, but I really hope there is less gerrymandering involved. There's clearly a lot, or at least an amount of it still happening, and it's not good. I would hope that can come to an end.
There was at least one state that actually outlawed it.
Oh, that's good.
The district lines are actually going to be redrawn after the 2020 census, which was part of the reason that this one was so important, is the people, especially the governors that are elected right now that will still be governor in 2021, so in our case, Greg Abbott, oversee and can veto whatever new lines are drawn in 2021, 2022. As far as things that can be approved next time, everybody knows at least 5 people that didn't vote. So on a personal level, you can, an action you can take right now and every day is to encourage those people that didn't vote to vote. On a national and state level, I think improving security at voting booths and locations, updating the technology would be very helpful. It's kind of glamorous to say it when people are running, but then as soon as elections in, nobody cares how safe or not safe elections are. And I hope that improves on a state level and a national level. And that's something that's not a law. I think everybody can agree on that. Laws are a little bit more finicky, like ID laws and stuff. I don't think that will be changed in the next 2 years. But yeah, I hope security improves and that people stay encouraged to vote.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think for me, one of the things that would be really helpful, I don't know what the process would be like to get there, but I think especially in Texas and all the states that there should be same-day registration voting allowed. Like you should be able to go and vote and register on the same day. Just because a lot of people, when the deadline happens, there's a lot of time still left, and people might not necessarily have been aware that they could vote, or they might get encouraged in those bit of times to go vote. So to be able to go to your polling place on election day, register, and be able to cast your vote, I think is very important, because then you're not, kind of denying them their right to vote, in my personal opinion. So.
I will say to that note, that would be very great. And I was so thankful on election day. I voted early because in Texas you're allowed to vote early. And seeing tweets and pictures from people on lines across the country, I was really thankful that of all the things Texas can improve on, one thing that it's doing really good at is allowing people to early vote so that if there was an issue, other than doing a provisional ballot, you can still try and make arrangements for 2 weeks to get everything squared together to cast your ballot. So I hope, same day voting would be cool.
Yes.
Lost my train of thought.
All right, so moving on, I'm going to let Troylon take this over, but we're going to be talking about UHCL, maybe, possibly, hopefully, bringing online basic courses to students. So why don't you take it away, Troylon?
All right, cool. So basically, just a few days ago, The Signal did publish an editorial basically saying how UHCL should offer more online courses, at least for, the basics classes and everything. Currently, UHCL offers a few online courses, but for the most part, if a person wanted to take their basics courses completely online, they would have to be completing one of the 4 degrees the UHCL does offer online. And those 4 degrees, for undergraduates, of course, are anthropology, finance, general business, and public service leadership. So if a person's not getting their degree in one of those 4 online, then they can't take their online basis courses for the most part. And the general idea is that, UHCL clearly has been having some enrollment problems. UHCL continues to be in a budget crisis that it's been in for almost 3 or 4 years now. And so one thing that I personally feel is that if UHCL offered more online classes, it would increase student enrollment and it would hopefully help with some of the financial problems UHCL has.
So maybe asking to Alyssa. So, do you think that offering online basic courses will benefit UHCL? And in what ways?
Yes, the same reasons. And something talked about during the editorial process was online and hybrid courses, because there's a lot of courses that you can take online, especially if you're coming straight out of high school, or even if you're transferring in without the full 2 years, we still need to take basics. Online will help with people avoiding commutes. Things like math and science. You can already do like the Writing Center and a lot of other services at UHCL online. So I believe that since those have been successful, like I know I've used the Writing Center online, like I've never gone to them in person, that can be utilized, having online courses, and maybe more hybrid courses where you meet once a month or twice a month would be really helpful in the humanities and the arts. Because there's some classes like going in person for some classes is like watching a tutorial. You could do that at home.
Yeah.
But there are benefits to having it hybrid as well. Just more variety. Like our school was founded on people that had complex lives, like not complex lives.
They're not the traditional college student? Yeah,
the traditional college student. And with over 74% of people, not UHCL, like in America, being non-traditional students, I think that would draw an attraction to have more non-traditional ways that you could learn, at least for your first 2 years, and then maybe take it course by course with 3,000, 4,000 level plus classes.
And a lot of the research has shown that, online classes are clearly increasing, not just like at universities, but also community colleges as well. Because, people are starting to see the benefits of it. And like Alyssa was saying, UHCL is and remains a non-traditional university. And we have lots of people here that are parents or they're working jobs and stuff like that. So there would be plenty of benefits if they see, I can do most of these online courses online and, still have my job or take care of my kids and my life and stuff like that. And that could really attract people to come here, and we won't have to deal with as much competition from San Jack.
And other schools.
Yeah, and other schools. No offense to any of those schools. You guys are great, but I'm a hawk.
Yeah, like if we want to compete, if now we're accepting freshmen and sophomores and we want to be competing with Alvin Community College and San Jack and all these other options, HCC, then part of that competition is seeing what they're offering and what's successful for them. And that's something other than lower tuition that is successful for them.
So if basic courses are offered online, what would that mean for UHCL in terms of the new buildings they are constructing or have constructed?
Well,
I don't want to get started on the buildings.
Well, I personally feel like, I am one of those people that believes in variety being a natural occurrence in life, and therefore I believe that for every student who decides to take his or her basic course online, there will be a student who decides to take their courses in person. And UHCL is obviously still expanding and stuff like that, and for better or worse, this expansion has been to increase student enrollment and everything. And so if we have more students who decide to come once we integrate more online courses and stuff, that'll obviously increase enrollment. UHCL can make even more buildings for the students who do want to, learn in person and stuff like that. But overall, if UHCL was to offer more basics online courses, I don't see the new buildings suffering from that in any way. It just doesn't seem very likely to me. There's always going to be people that want to do classes face to face.
So moving on to Quick Take, the panel will now have 3 to 4 minutes to talk about various topics. And the first one, former First Lady Michelle Obama recently debuted her memoir titled Becoming. In the book, she openly criticizes President Donald Trump, yet the president has yet to respond. If the president were to respond to Mrs. Obama's criticisms, what do you think the reaction from the general public would be? Is she somebody that he could criticize? Because he's been very open about criticizing people who criticize him. Is she one of those people that you maybe can't?
He kind of already has criticized her husband. And in a sense, by criticizing his administration, in a sense, in a way, he's kind of criticizing her too already. So, yeah. And plus, as for the general public's reaction, I feel like they wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we're kind of used to him, I use this term hesitantly, clapbacking to anyone and everyone. So, I mean, I'm kind of surprised he already hasn't made some kind of tweet about it saying, read a few passages from the book, blah, 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 exclamation point,
Capital.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't completely subscribe to that. If him criticizing the administration means that he's criticizing her, but if he hasn't already, which I can't cite anything, so I'm gonna say he hasn't yet. I would not be surprised if he does. It's wives of politicians he has already criticized. He criticized Ted Cruz's wife on the campaign trail, and 2 years in, we see him on the campaign trail, and him as president is not that different. Just more often, things are written for him rather than him saying everything. That's really been the only difference. So it's just a matter of time. And as far as what the public response will be, it depends on how he criticizes her. If he just does it kind of as he would criticize a man, then it's probably going to be people going into their corners, super conservative or super liberal. What is it called? Tribal? Like, they're going to go back to their tribe corners. But if he does it in a way that he's criticized a lot of other black women, then I feel like more people will respond negatively than people just saying, well, he's a Republican, so I'm going to agree with him. There's going to be more Republicans, not a lot, but there's going to be a few people that are going to come out and say that that's inappropriate. And that's just, again, how he decides to respond. But he's going to respond. Let's just, don't bet against it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he says something just absolutely rude. I mean, he was basic. The things people have said about Michelle Obama, people that are obviously anti-Obama and stuff, are some of the most harshest things I've ever heard said about, almost any first lady for that matter. And so, those people probably voted for him. So I feel like because of that, he probably knows that. He probably would feel very comfortable saying something very wrong about her. Also, can I just say, I never got to finish Obama's memoir before he became president and stuff, but I'm looking forward to finishing that and then starting this.
I read Dreams of My Father. I listened to the audiobook narrated by him, so it's a great audiobook. And I'm looking forward to reading this one. I know this is kind of a side. I went with Troylon on this.
Sorry, I just thought about it.
Well, next up, dating in 2018 is a lot more complex as many venture into the online world to seek potential matches. What are your thoughts about this form of meeting new people, and what are some tips you have?
I think some people should try to be a bit more classy. Because, I've known people who personally, as soon as they get a social media... Can we be inappropriate on this?
Let's try not to.
Okay, point is they get on social media.
Wait, can I pause? Don't say anything sexist or misogynistic, please.
No, not like that. I don't say things like that. Anyway, okay. I've known girls who get on social media, and they can be very young when they've gotten on it. And as soon as guys notice them because of their profile picture and stuff, the guys immediately message them and send them very not good things, to hoping to get some kind of nice response back. And I'm just like, what the heck is wrong with you people? Like, if I saw someone on social media and stuff and I thought I was interested in dating them, I'm going to be very nice and be like, hi, I'd like to talk to you. I'm not going to be like, I'm not even going to describe the things
I already know.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at, now online dating and such, how does that maybe differ from, 10 or so years ago?
I don't know.
Maybe like the different terms, like ghosting is now a thing, or you guys know what that is?
Maybe think 5 years
What's
ago.
What's ghosting again?
Ghosting is like you message me and we have a conversation and then I just stop replying altogether and I never tell you why I'm not responding.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, I think it's just an inevitable process of online dating and stuff. I to be fair, I'm not very experienced in the online dating field. Well, the point is,
and I wish we had visuals.
Not a big fan. I have no desire to try it and stuff, but I have,
So you prefer, so you're the youngest of us, so you prefer sort of the old school type of,
meet up, talk
yeah.
to someone, be like, hi, I'd like to get to know you. Yes. I mean, I am part of the generation who kind of has helped make it be the horrible thing it is, but also the good thing it is in a way. But I feel like, it's just... What was the question? I'm sorry, I just have lots of mixed feelings about online
Basically,
dating.
what are your thoughts and about people meeting in this particular way?
I think that it can be very good. I mean, there are many amazing, heartwarming love stories I've heard, about people who've met online. There have also been some very crazy ones where they're clearly driven more by lust than love.
They're on Nightline. 60 minutes.
Oh, Lord. But, I mean, there can be good and there can be bad. I mean, honestly, love can come in any kind of way, out of any kind of way, but disaster can come out of any kind of way, too. It's all chemistry.
Well, let's focus on the love and move on to our next topic, which is... Oh, wait, you have something to say?
I have a few things to say.
Okay, go for it.
I'm sorry, we're going to run over here. I want to just start off with, I have no experience. This is an outsider looking in. Because me and my boyfriend, we met when we were 15, 16. We started going out when I was 17. So... as the height of this, as it has become increasingly more common, I haven't really been in the pond. I've just been on deck, looking at what's been happening.
Look at the fishies!
Yeah, watching stuff happen. But I'm kind of thankful in a way because it seems very intimidating. Honestly, just dating in general. If we weren't together, I don't know what I would do. I'd be a mess. But I'm kind of raising my voice. I think there's a lot of positives and negatives to it. One of the positives, which this is a double-edged sword, is that people that sometimes when you like a certain thing, or if it's a fandom or whatever, it's hard to find people that are like you in person, except for conventions or conferences or whatever. And with online communities, you're able to find people of similar interests you might have not otherwise. And even if they're in your vicinity, sometimes you don't talk about things that you're interested in. You go to tennis every day and you wish you had someone to play tennis with. You're at work, no one's going to talk about tennis. So you go on Tinder. No, I don't know. Anyways, I'm trying to use metaphors and I don't know what I'm saying.
I will say, though, that I feel that, social media has made it where I don't know if I would consider this online dating, but basically, how if somebody might have known someone in high school and then they friend that person on some social media years later and stuff, and they are able to get back in contact and eventually start meeting up and then dating and stuff like that. I think that, that's a really good thing that's happened. I'm grateful for social media doing those things, I'm not sure if that counts as online dating because you knew the person before. But
I think it still counts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you could know somebody, but it's a different way of re-meeting each other.
Yeah. But to me, that kind of online dating is really I guess the kind that my generation has done and dealt with a lot, and I think that can be pretty legit, because it's nice running into people from your past, and sometimes you realize that the person from your past is the person that will be your last. And
that's adorable.
That needs to go on our...
That is adorable. That tagline right there.
The whole thing about catfishing and not knowing who people really are, I feel like even the people that you talk to every day, you don't know your parents' secrets. You could have somebody in your life for a long time. It sounds like I'm talking about from personal experience. I'm not. I'm just saying you can have people in your circle that you don't really know what they're like until you're dating them. They could have some mental issues, emotional issues, and when you're going online, they're kind of equal, except sometimes it's harder to see it. The only thing is catfishing and ghosting can't really happen in person unless you have Unless you're really good at just ignoring people to their face. I don't know what to say. Okay, go on, sorry.
All right. Well, speaking of ignoring people, so with the holidays around the corner and the midterm elections still in progress.
I didn't know where you were going.
I was like,
what are some tips you have for handling political conversations during family gatherings?
Well, can I just say, sometimes I've often been envious of, well, not really envious. I don't think I should want this, but I'm going to use that word. I've just been very envious sometimes of people who have to worry about, having political conversations at family gatherings because people may not have the same political views and stuff. Because for me, my family, for the most part, we all kind of have that same political mindset to where, hypothetically speaking, none of us support certain people in office right now that are leading the country, hypothetically speaking. And with that in mind, if anything, like, I'm the only person who could possibly offer like alternative views and stuff like that, but it's not even like something that's going to start a fight and everything. It's just me like thinking about certain things and stuff. So I don't know. I've always wondered what's that like, having to worry about that. I haven't had to worry about it yet.
I have no advice. I am bad at this. I will go to a point and just stop talking because I get upset. If I get angry, I'll start crying. And then what are you going to say after that? You're not going to say anything. Like, I had somebody, it's not a family member, it was a family friend, that we were talking about something and they said racism didn't exist because they didn't experience it. And like, instead of like an intellectual reply, I just didn't reply. I replied in my head like for the last 6 months every time I think of this person. And I'm probably going to see them. I've actually seen them since. I just don't know what to say. Like, just read a lot of articles on how to do it. Take Brandon's advice. He's about to tell us something, hopefully.
Well, well, wait, can I just say, as someone who tries to be diplomatic, but when I'm around my friends, I get very lousy. As someone who tries to kind of be diplomatic around family members and stuff like that, I can say that personally, I would approach it the way I would approach a disagreement with anyone who isn't necessarily a close friend. Because my close friends, chances are we're going to have the same views. But anyway, like, if someone says something and I disagree with it, I'm going to calmly offer an alternative and state, like, my reasoning on the matter. And I'll just try my best not to make it escalate into a fight. Hopefully that person is level-headed, because I don't know, the way I picture the scenario, chances are they're going to say something that's going to make me mad, and I'm going to try and be the calm one. Overall, when it comes to family, I don't know we don't always have the same extent with one family member as we do with the other, but I do feel like, depending on who that family member is, hopefully whatever they say doesn't suppress the bond between that person. I'm used to like not having the same views as people, and I can accept that. It just depends on what it is. Sometimes I want to.
Okay.
I don't know if that came up.
Well, some of my recommendations would be just maybe waiting until after dinner to have these discussions. I think everybody would appreciate having dinner first before going into a full political conversation. You might even have like a safe room, like a room that's away from other people to have these political conversations. That way you don't kind of damper the whole party.
But if you do it during dinner and you want to say something, you just put food in your mouth. I don't eat my feelings.
I think also, to be frank, I'm not frank, to be fair, sometimes when especially Thanksgiving, if we're all eating, generally there's something on TV and stuff like that. Maybe if you just have something really good on the television where everybody has their attention on that, it won't open the room for political discussion. So like kind of preventing it before it happens. Maybe that's just me. I'm used to football games or something being on when Thanksgiving's going on in my house. So like there's going to be, if anything, a lot of sports fighting, but that's all in good faith, not unlike political fighting where somebody could get stabbed.
What if like there was a dystopian movie on the television set?
Thankfully the people in my house don't like all that stuff. Well, it depends, but I don't know, they'll probably just be entertained, and I don't think they're going to be like, it just depends.
And all if all else fails, just have it out. Yeah, then you can figure out where people stand. And if you want to continue inviting them to Thanksgiving next year, you never know. But for more reporting, head to UHCLthesignal.com, like us on Facebook, and send us your comments, suggestions to signalsoundbites at UHCLthesignal.com. Do you guys have any closing comments before we sign out of here?
Yes. I would just like to say...
Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. What are you guys thankful for?
Aww, well, I'm thankful for the Signal for giving me my first job and all the wonderful people I've met. And as I currently read the 4th Harry Potter book, I'm very thankful for Alyssa, Lindsay, and kind of Emily. No, because I mean Emily wasn't as adamant as Alyssa and Lindsay. She was more calm about it.
You know how to step in it. Okay.
Anyway, I am grateful for them all motivating me to finally get to Harry Potter. It was something that I had held off for so long, and honestly, I would like this winter to continue to be a Harry Potter fall and winter rather than the Game of Thrones winter it was meant to be, which is ironic because winter is supposed to be coming in Game of Thrones. But anyway,
in the spring.
Yeah. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for dinosaurs. I'm grateful for I'm thankful for all the wonderful people in my life that I've met, even the ones that have made me mad. I'm thankful for Star Wars.
I think I'm just gonna let this.
I feel like you're
just gonna trail.
I'm thankful for Brandon and his teachings. I'm thankful for Alyssa and her teachings. Everyone at the Signal has taught me something. Except, wait, never mind. Everyone's taught me something.